K in magic. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and if you are a person who loves or lives with or works with a person with autism, or you yourself are on the autism spectrum, you have officially been tagged. In honor of Autism Awareness Month, I thought it would be fun if we all hopped on YouTube and listed the 5 things that make the person we love with autism, the person we live with or work with, or the person we are, 5 things that make this person awesome. And since I have lived with and loved my son, Tanner, who has autism, for 20 years now, I feel qualified to kick this tag off. So here we go, 5 reasons why my kid, Tanner DeVoe, is awesome. Number 1 has to be the fact that he is a golf ball genius, and it has to be number 1 because he would want it to be number 1. He is obsessed with golf balls, and that's not because he likes to play golf. He will occasionally go to the driving range with his stepdad, but that's really because he wants to get golf balls. If we had not made him recycle his golf balls, I am sure we would have like 5,000 to 10,000 golf balls in this house right now. As it stands, we probably have like 500 to 1,000. We have a lot of golf balls, and what he likes to do with them is scratch them on the sidewalk, and he will spend hours doing this every day if you let him. He'll scratch the golf balls down to the core inside, and sometimes they kind of look like a shiny piece of bubble gum. They're like a solid rubber composite kind of interior. Or if you get an old-fashioned one, which is a big score, it's just a bunch of rubber band twined around itself. And he's figured out a way how to scratch those just to a certain point, and then he'll call us out and we sit there and wait, and the ball will explode, and he knows like when it's going to happen to the second. It's very interesting, and the way he learned how to do this, I guess, is just sitting there and scratching golf balls. But what's interesting is he can get any golf ball, he puts it up to his ear, and he can flick it and tell you what kind of core is inside, what color it is, how it's going to bounce, how it's going to sound, what it's made of. It's super cool and trippy, and that is one thing that makes Tanner awesome. Number 2, he is the bug whisperer. He loves bugs, bugs love him. He's particularly fascinated by these Japanese beetles that come around once a year, every summer when our fig tree is in bloom. We get those really cool green iridescent beetles, and he's actually had one on each of his fingers and walked around with them like rings, like he's got jewelry on, and they just chill there. They love him. And he also likes flies. He can catch a fly like Mr. Miyagi from the Karate Kid, not really with chopsticks, but I mean, we could be chasing the fly around with these butterfly nets that he has all day long, and he will come in and get it in a second, and then he goes and he puts them in these big net bug barn things that he has. And we've seen him, he'll have a fly walk around on his hand and then kind of fly up and then come back down and walk around on his hand. He's done this with bees, and yeah, he's the bug whisperer. He has some kind of communication going on there. Number 3 is he is totally tuned into nature, which I guess is a little bit tied in with number 2 and his love of bugs, but the kind of nature that he can really rock out on, and I literally do mean rock out. He will like rock, and sometimes he'll stim on a really windy day. He loves weather. He loves clouds, rain, wind. He calls a windy day a blustery day after Winnie the Pooh, and he's very concerned about the level of the breeze and if it qualifies as a blustery day or not. And he's also always been extremely tuned in to the moon. He follows the phases of the moon. A lot of what I know about the moon I learned from Tanner's obsessive need to follow the phases of the moon every single night. We get him those lunar calendars that show you, where the moon is at on any given evening. So we do that every night, and he loves planets and spheres and anything kind of ball-shaped. I think that's where that came from. But he spends a lot of time grooving on nature and what is going on in the sky. Number 4, he has absolutely no ego when it comes to his musical selection, he has a keyboard that he likes to play, and mostly he likes to mess around with the different beats and the pre-recorded music that's inside of it. And we will hear him in there with the door closed. He rocks out, he dances in his own funky way, but he will be rocking out to like the Wedding March or Silent Night in the middle of June, and it's so funny because he'll kind of like rap over the music sometimes, and it will never match what the music is. So it might be like the Wedding March and he'll be going, yeah man, yeah, did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? I'm talking to you. And it'll be exactly to the music, like to the rhythm and where there's little breaks, but obviously I don't think he even knows it's the Wedding March. He has no judgment on if it's cool or not, which is just who he is in general with everything, with fashion and what's going on in rock and roll. But he loves it, he loves the music, and it's really funny to hear whatever is going to be coming out of his room on any given day. Number 5, and I could do so many more than 5, but we will just wrap it up here in the name of keeping this thing short. He is the happiest, most purely joyful person that you will ever meet, and that is not because he hasn't had any challenges in his life. He's had his fair share of tragedy and heartbreak, more than his fair share, but he is purely joyful, delighted to be here, so happy, smiling all the time. And when something really, really delights him, he like shows it with his entire body, and he doesn't just smile, he does that like, ah, like open face, like yes! And again, that ties in with like, he has no concern about if he's looking cool or not. He's just gonna be like, yeah, happy dance, like in the middle of the mall or whatever. And just a quick funny little story, my sister just got married last week, and it was a very religious ceremony, and the preacher did an entire sermon and then this really long prayer. And at the end of the prayer, Tanner very loudly, he goes, "Good one!" So my sister just texted me, her and her husband are on their honeymoon in Hawaii, and because they are very religious, they pray a lot, especially after every meal. And now they kind of have a running joke after they pray, one or the other goes, "Good one!" So he just has the ability to get into your heart that way and kind of go on your honeymoon with you, because he just makes people see life in a different way and to see the joy and the pleasure in the little things, and that is why my kid Tanner DeVoe is awesome. If you want to make this awesome tag, if you want to participate in Autism Awareness Month, please write Autism Awareness Awesome tag at the top of your video. And then let's see if we can get a hashtag going down below, and just write Autism Awesomeness as your hashtag. Hashtag awesome. Hashtag Autism Awesomeness. And we'll see if we can get something going here and spread the word on how awesome people with autism can be. Much love. Peace.